Hey, it's your girl JC with the Booked and Busy podcast. I'm here with Lo, and she's a nail technician. Her nail company name is Claws by Lo. And we're going to get into a couple of things as far as the do's and don'ts of the industry, a couple questions you guys have been asking me to reach out to the text and talk about. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. How you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. Why'd you start doing nails?
I've always been interested in nails since I was in like 7th grade. I used to practice on myself. I used to take like newspaper and alcohol, do my own designs and everything. So I was never able to, I didn't have the resources at that age. So I just jumped into hair because that was more easy. You just go to a beauty supply, get some things, and become a hairstylist.
Right.
So once I graduated high school, it was my senior year. My cosmetology teacher gave me that push. She gave me a nail kit, and it just went from there.
Okay.
Cool. I went over to Dudley's, got my license, quit my job, took $300 of my last check, bought everything I needed, and just started my nail career.
Yeah, that's a big leap. A lot of people are afraid of going on that because, everybody worried about, am I going to have clientele? Am I going to make my money back? And what I typically try to tell people is all of the colors and stuff that you see that people who, been doing it for 3-4 years, you going to build that over time. Yeah. Don't worry about that. All you need is your basic 3 colors to begin with and you'll be fine. So the number one question that I feel like everybody's been kind of wondering about is deposits. That's the biggest argument in the industry between the clients and the technician. So tell me a little bit about that. Do you charge a deposit? And if you do, why do you charge one?
Okay, so let's take it back to coming into the game. I didn't charge nothing. You could just go on my site, book, and come. But with clients, they pick and choose if they're going to come. So now you have this day where it's just I got 5 people booked. No one paid a deposit. So only 3 out of those 5 showed up. Right. 2 didn't even say nothing to you. So now that's 2, however long it take you, that's your hours that's gone. You made no income from that.
Right.
So when you charge a deposit, it kind of gives them I got something on the line. So I'm going to show. I don't want to just throw my money away.
Right.
Some people charge up to $5 to $35 deposits, depending on what you do. Some hairstylists charge $50, and I feel like it's needed because if it's nothing on the line, they don't care about these appointments. Sometimes even a $15 deposit, they don't care about.
It's not enough because nowadays, $15 is like McDonald's, so they'll easily throw it away if something come up. And what I feel like we don't talk about is how bad no call, no shows affect us. Speaking of booth rental, suite rental, this is almost more than an apartment every month.
It's really the same.
Yeah.
So if you got an apartment, a car, and your suite, that's almost $3,000 a month.
Right, and one thing I hear often from clientele and stuff like that is this paying a car note come to get my nails done, or y'all be charging for lifestyle. A lot of people think we're charging for lifestyle.
No.
And it's really not like that. We are not charging for our lifestyle. I barely get to live doing nails.
Okay.
So, social media can be a little bit full, and because sometimes we post things I finally got to go to Jamaica. And then somebody who is potentially thinking about booking us or has already booked with us feel oh, wow, this is why she charged so much, because she's going to Jamaica while I'm here, not doing nothing.
But they can't go off what they see. If I go buy a bag and post my bag, you can't feel damn, I just paid for her bag.
Right.
You shouldn't feel like that. You should feel like she works hard enough. This the first time I seen her pop out with something. Maybe she just gifted herself, because usually that's what it be. Yeah. We work like slaves to give out a service. We should be able to buy something without them looking at us that's where our money going to. In reality, our money is going to products, our bills, for us to live. A lot of us don't do this as a side hustle. This is the main income. So every dollar we touch from y'all goes to something other than luxury. Because if we breaking down nail products, I don't really want to talk about that in real life.
Yeah, and if you paying to do nails or hair or tattoos anywhere, you gotta be paying rent. And off the top, no matter if you having a slow month or a good month, that gotta be paid. And it get real hard like around the winter time, because a lot of people that come and get a service from us, they don't have a vehicle to get back and forth. So imagine somebody deciding like, oh, I really want to come get my nails done by this person, but I'm gonna have to get somebody to come bring me because it's just snowing outside versus like taking public transportation. But anyways, we gonna get more into some more fun topics. So what would be the worst experience you've ever had as a nail tech? What's the horror story? Everybody got one.
Ooh. I don't know, because
you ever had a client just come and, you know, she felt like, you know, you slayed her nails, but she was just looking for a discount? You ain't? Okay.
No.
So she's safe. She ain't had no horror stories.
I ain't had one of those.
Usually we have one that's kind of bad, but what would you consider if you had to give your clients or anybody like thinking about booking you some good advice about knowing, you know, how to book, or just like a couple of do's and don'ts?
It's real simple with me. You go on my site. I really push out for people to read everything that's on the site, because I don't want people to book and feel like it's false advertising. So read everything on the site. Once you book, everything is really set in stone. You get emails, I'm texting you. So really, just with me, just please pick a date that's comfortable for you. Don't rush me. Don't book. If it's your birthday, please don't book makeup, nails, hair, and then you got to fight at 9 o'clock. Don't do it like that. Give yourself time. Give me time. If we both comfortable, everything gonna go by real smooth. That's really all I tell people.
Is it anything that you don't do? Like some people, they don't do soak-offs on other people's work, or they don't do fill-ins on other people's work. Is it something like, you know, somebody brought it to you like, I'm not doing that?
I just started back doing soak-offs on other people's work only because I do want to be full service, but I'm not going to fill in other people's work because I'm not sure what acrylic brand they used, or if you went to the nail shop, we already know how that go. And then you coming over to me and I got top of the line products and you complaining about something the nail shop gave you. And then here I am filling on top of that, and whatever problem you get from that, you're going to expect it to be mine when it was really the nail shop. So I still won't fill in other people's work. But I soak it off and do it myself.
I pretty much do everything besides like I do, if I can look at the work and I feel like comfortable, I don't have it on my site, but I've had a few people come and they booked for a soak off, and then it was like, well, I booked for a soak off because I feel like you don't go over other people's work, but I really wanted to fill in. And sometimes I like look at it and be like, oh yeah, you can get a fill in, because I feel like it's kind of quality, because I want to save you time and save me time. One thing I absolutely don't do, and I feel like I've lost clientele for this, is people have come to me with severely damaged nails, even though I was like, oh no, I'm not doing any work of it, and I literally like, I'm not putting a nail on it, like, you can still get your set, but I'm gonna skip that figure.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I feel like people be ignoring when I have it on a booking site, and it says it right there when it say nail repair. I'm not going over any open cuts, wounds, none of that, because I'm just like, man, this gonna come back on me.
Yeah, I had a girl, her whole nail lifted and it was a patch. I could see the meat. Like, looking at her nail, I saw her meat like busting through the nail. I'm like, I'm not gonna touch that.
That's your horror story right there. So
no, basically, yeah.
Somebody asked you,
and she was just like, "Girl, don't worry about it." I'm like, "You saying don't worry about it now? When that finger starts getting big and you gotta go get it cut off, then don't worry about it."
A lot of people used to that. A lot of people used to that because I see it. I've been to the shop and they're, you know, taking off the nail with another fake nail. A lot of like bad habits, and I mean, whatever somebody do, that's between a nail tech feedback and them. But I know when I see something unsafe going on, and a lot of people are just used to that. This is the point of me, bringing this podcast together, because I really want to allow you all to clear the air. And sometimes it's not so much an argument, it's more education. And if people were more educated about conversations like this, we wouldn't have to have all these different conversations. We wouldn't have these videos where everybody just demeaning each other, like, I don't understand why I gotta pay a deposit and I could just walk into a salon. But you have to understand, when you pay a deposit with me, I'm going to be sitting there probably 10-15 minutes prior to you coming to make sure I'm completely available, to service you on time. On the average wait going into a basic nail salon is about an hour before you see a technician. So I just hope everybody can understand that. So just to wrap up, is there anything you want to tell us, as far as, like I said again, about booking you? Where can we find you on Instagram, your social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Claws by Lo. When you go to my Instagram, everything is there. You can book me there. I also have a cosmetic line. You can shop there. I have a link tree. You can go on my Amazon storefront. Everything you need to do through me is on my Instagram. And my DMs are always open. I'm not one of those, don't DM me.
What can we expect to see from you next?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm gonna get back in. I was a hairstylist before I became a full-time nail technician, so I'm about to become a hairstylist again. So I'm gonna be full service hairstylist, nail technician, lash technician, and a pedicurist. You can get everything in one sitting with me.
It's a one-stop shop for real. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in.
And thank you for having me. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, I love it. So thank you for tuning in to JC's Booked and Busy podcast. I had a great time here with Lo. She's been a blessing.